Active layer. This discussion is about how to use your active layer feature most effectively. We're going to start by pointing out that I have multiple layers selected on my screen. And to show you what those layers are, I used the browse function and I selected pipeline easements, pipelines, and surface owners. I'm going to zoom into this area right here because it's particularly interesting to note that we have three layers that are literally on top of each other. The yellow are the surface owners. In this case, you can see the blue outline, which indicates that part of this is not visible because it's below the blue area. The blue area is our pipeline easement and right-of-way, and this line is the pipeline. So if I were to click on the map, for example, right here, how would the system know if I want information balloon regarding the pipeline, the surface owner, or the blue area and the right-of-way? Well, herein comes the active layer. So I am going to click here and I will be prompted by the active layer asking me which of these three layers do I want to be on top. On top meaning when I click on it I get the information balloon associated with the top layer. So do I want the pipeline easement, surface owner, or the line itself? I'm going to select the pipeline easement, and then I'm going to click on that same spot again. And here I have my pipeline easement information. You can change active layers by simply changing them here and then clicking again, and you get, in this case, the surface owner information. And I would have gotten that same information if I clicked down here, even though that layer is not visible. See? Surface owner information. It's important to remember that your active layer is still open and functioning at all times, even if it's not visible. So as you remember, we had surface owner selected on our active layer, and now I'm going to click somewhere else and I should get the surface owner information for this square box that you see outlined in blue, and yes, I do. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of a shortcut. Let's say I want to switch from this particular surface owner. I'm going to click on it because I know it was my active layer, and now I want to see the right-of-ways associated with that. I don't necessarily have to switch active layer and click again, although I could do that. I can simply switch in here, and in this case there were several, and I click on one of those and it comes right up. Let's do that again from this extent. We have surface owner. I click and I select surface owner, and I click on my surface owner, and there's my information balloon. Let's say we want to switch now to the right-of-ways, pipeline easements. I click on that same spot and I get the pipeline easement associated with that. But I don't necessarily have to keep turning this on and off. What I can do instead, let's go back to the surface owner. Once I'm in the surface owner, I can simply change over to the pipeline easement that simply. In this case, we have multiple pipeline easements running through this surface owner. That's why I'm given a list. And I click on one and it appears. If I click somewhere on the map and there's nothing there or no layer there, I will get a prompt for an active layer, and I will pick surface owner, but there's no surface owner. I'm going to click here anyway, and I should get a no features found. Anytime you get this message, it means that where you clicked in relation to your active layer do not match. So let's do that again. Remember that I have surface owners, and I'm going to click somewhere where there is no surface owner. There's no surface owner right underneath here. So I'm going to click there and I get no features found. That doesn't mean that this is not a feature. It means that the active layer is different than what I've clicked on. You get them lined up and you get your information balloon. Now let's take a look at the RRC data in relation to our active layer. In this case, I'm going to select pipelines. These two have to match or it won't work. And you click on it and there's your information. If I wanted Wells, Wells is not going to appear until I have it turned on. So in this case, I'm going to select Wells, and then I'm going to click on a well, and I get the well information. So this is the active layer feature. Just keep in mind that even though you can't see it, it still is always functioning in the background. If you want to see what your active layer is, click on active layer and you can see your choices and make changes to them easily. You don't necessarily have to open and close your active layer constantly. Normally the system will prompt you when you click on something that it doesn't understand. It'll say no features found, and that is your signal to go ahead and change it, the active layer. If you only have one layer on, then you won't even see this, although it is happening in the background. If you only have one layer on, the system knows which layer you're asking questions about.